Good day, YouTubians. Purple Mentat here with another vlog. I'm running around my Agrarian Skies world. Well, not my Agrarian Skies world, the Ruin Wolf Agrarian Skies multiplayer server, and I figured I'd come talk to you guys about current events. In today's vlog, I'm going to be discussing what happened for the last week, my future plans for channel content, which are constantly evolving, but I have some solid plans that I'm going to stick to for a while, as well as some new developments in my mental health. And the personal information will be left for last. I will give you a nice big warning before I get into it. If it's not the sort of thing you're interested in, feel free to cut the video at that point. I will understand. No worries. Okay, so first up, what the heck happened to me in the past week? Well, a couple of things. Starting last Friday, I had been under a rather large amount of personal stress related to some unhealthy people in my life, some of my own anxiety, and just in general not being in a great place to be able to get the kind of content produced that I wanted to at the kind of rate that I wanted to. Now, unfortunately, you, the fans, ended up suffering most of the ill effects of this because I was not getting out the videos, and that's kind of why you guys come here, to watch the videos. I mean, that's kind of what the relationship is between you guys, the fans, and me, the producer. I make content that you guys watch and hopefully enjoy. And I think that I've been putting a little too much pressure on myself lately to try to make this more of an obligation than I should, because... Alright, I'm explaining myself poorly. Let me start over a bit here. What I'm trying to say is that I have been putting myself under a lot of pressure and heaping piles of guilt and shame and remorse and just nothing really positive or healthy about it whenever I miss a self-imposed deadline, because I feel like I'm letting all of you guys down. And really, that's not the approach I need to take. The approach that I need to take to get out the maximum amount of content in the maximum quality that I can is to focus on get the content made and put it up when it's ready and try to build up a backlog, but don't hold myself to too much pressure. Because at that point, the quality degrades, the frequency degrades. If I put too much stress on myself, then I'm not enjoying things and I'm turning this into a job, like a grinding 9 to 5 at an office, forcing myself to do things I don't want to do job. And no one likes that. I've had videos that I pushed myself to get out the door because it was what I needed to do. And they're some of my least viewed videos, and some of the ones that people really commented on being like, hey, it sounds a lot like you're not enjoying this, so we want to hear the fun in your voice again. What's going on? So I know that I need to not do that, or you guys don't like what you get. No one enjoys that content. It's not worth doing for anyone involved. You guys don't want to watch it, and I don't want to make it because it's not fun to create. And it's the fun to create content that you guys want to see, the stuff that I really have a good time with, like Mark of the Ninja I uploaded recently because it took me a total of 45 minutes to an hour to create that video. And I had a really good time doing it. And the people that watched it, and there's not a ton of views on it, but I need to focus less on caring about the view count and more on what I have fun doing and what people have fun watching. So that brings me back around to like where I've been the past week. Basically, my personal life kind of had a bit of an explosion at the same time that I had a serious computer-related issue with one of my hard drives. Both have since been rectified, but the personal life left me with less time to work on the computer issues than I would have liked, and the computer issues stopped me from being able to produce content and caused me to lose, well, basically the entire construction process of all of this and the systems I set up to make the materials that are going into it, and basically like 3 episodes worth of footage that I had going into producing all of this, and a couple of other like side things that I ended up tearing down and you guys will end up seeing in the future. It's a lot of time to lose just out of the blue. with no way to get it back. So what this means is, well, I mean, I'll put out the content as fast as I can moving forward, but honestly, I have no backup footage at this point. The Agrarian Skies episode that went up today is the latest of everything that I've done. I'm hoping to have another one up this weekend, but I'm kind of back to square one a little bit on having everything ready and just being able to, oh, what am I trying to say? I'm a little bit back to square one again with no backlog and no backup and no real buffer. So that brings me to the plans for the future of the channel. I need that buffer. I need to be able to relax and enjoy myself and get things done without going crazy. The way that I'm going to be doing that, honestly, is going to be stepping back from trying to do Agrarian Skies every day. And I said that I was going to do that originally, and then I failed to actually, like, follow through on that approach. And that's on me. That's a mistake that I will wholly own. I should not have pushed myself to try to get an Agrarian Skies video out every day. The pressure of doing so kind of killed the joy of doing YouTube for me, and I basically stopped doing YouTube for a while because of it. Which, nobody wants that. I don't want that, you guys don't want that. And I need to give us, both me and you, what we want. It's how I make money off of the advertisements, and it's how you guys get the content that you enjoy. Now, what this means for the schedule. I will be doing Agrarian Skies between 3 and 4 times a week. That's going to be my goal for Agrarian Skies. I also want to do a couple of episodes of other games because they take a lot less time. Let's talk about that time investment for a minute here, because it's kind of significant and it's actually rather important. Agrarian Skies takes me between 3 and 6 hours to do each episode, with the quality that I try to keep in and the amount of content that I try to cover in each episode. I'm starting to understand why a lot of YouTubers don't cover as much in a single episode as I do, because I can't keep up with my own pace. Blah 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 blah. Sorry, I can't keep up with the pace that I'm trying to set for myself. Much less expect the audience to be able to keep up with that amount in each video every day. It's not reasonable. So, oh, blast. That sucked. So, what this means going forward is I'm not going to push myself that hard to keep doing a big, long video with a ton of content every day. It's a bad plan. It does not make a lot of sense. And it causes me to have big gaps in content that honestly get bigger because I don't produce as much as I want to in the day. For example, when I, well, how can I explain this best? Like, and I don't think I can, actually. I can't explain this in the level of detail without getting into the personal end and the mental health end that a lot of people aren't interested in hearing about. So, did I drop a pulverizer into the lava? I think I did. Is that the worst thing that's happened to me today? No, it is not. That's okay. So, we'll leave that for later. But basically, just say that when the pressure gets very high on me, I don't rise to meet that. I tend to cower in the corner. And if you guys want to call me a coward or a failure or whatever, go ahead. I've heard it all my life. What it comes down to is anxiety sucks. It's something I live with, and I'm doing my level best. So I'm going to work to take that pressure off of myself. Games like Mark of the Ninja and coming soon, Don't Starve are going to do very well for that because I can put easy limits on what I'm doing with them. For example, Mark of the Ninja, if I do a level or two, well, that's 20 or 30 minutes, and it's a contained experience. There's no cuts, there's no skipping over stuff. I don't have a, I'm going to cut the camera now and go do a couple of things off camera, and 4.5 hours later, I actually have everything done off camera that I said I was going to do. Maybe I'm just a really slow Minecraft player. That's also an option. All right, so schedule going forward. 3 or 4 Agrarian Skies episodes, 1 or 2 episodes of Mark of the Ninja. I'm hoping to finish Transistor sometime very soon, but I need to get myself and Apollo Cat a free evening. And honestly, our social life during the summer is kind of crazy. And that's probably my fault anyway. Once I can get the two of us with some free time together, I will be able to actually finish up Transistor, because those dual cast episodes that we did were some of the most fun we've had with the game yet for both of us, and we want to do more of that to finish it off. And I think that's everything that I'm planning at the moment. Mark of the Ninja, I don't expect to take more than at most 10 to 15 episodes to complete. Once I do, I'm going to be doing other games like that. I'm working on reviving the series, the game auditions, as a first impression series. I already have the first game for that all queued up, and it's going to be releasing on the 30th on the release day of the game. That's the big news that I have, is I'm feeling like I'm an actual professional YouTube video maker at this point, because a developer gave me a pre-release key for one of their games so that I could produce a video for it to go up on launch day. Very excited about this. Okay, I think that covers the schedule. I'm still going to be doing the Skype Patreon call tomorrow, as planned. Details on that will be on the Patreon feed if you can, if you are of a donor level, to access those. And I think that covers everything. Oh, I guess one other thing. I've been getting a few comments lately that basically are telling me, you're doing it wrong, do it this way instead, I don't like what you're doing. And I gotta ask, if you don't like what you see on this channel, why are you watching this channel? I'm not gonna change what I'm doing, what I'm having fun with, to suit you, so go find someone that plays the game the way you like it. No hard feelings. I won't be upset if you decide to watch someone else instead of me. I'm not basing my self-worth on how many video views that I get. If you don't enjoy my content, then go watch someone else. Complaining at me about it isn't going to change, like, the subject matter. And yes, I ask you guys every episode, what did you dislike? What can I do better? But what I'm saying about that isn't necessarily, like, the subject matter. If I'm doing a video, the best example that I have at the moment is the little mini tutorial I did on the igneous extruder versus the terrain smasher. If I'm doing that video, if that's the entire subject matter, telling me, you know, here's why you're wrong and this video is stupid and you should work on things that actually matter, that's not helpful. That's not constructive criticism. You know? Clearly I enjoy the terrain smasher more than I enjoy the igneous extruder. I've used the terrain smasher to start Agrarian Skies 3 times now. I'm going to keep using it. I just built a new 4 terrain smasher cobble gen up there because it's fun. And ultimately, fun outweighs any other consideration. I don't play for absolute efficiency. This tangled mass of impulse item ducts and pneumatic servos is not efficient at all, but it was fun to build. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters to me, is the fun factor. And if you're not cool with that, if you'd rather I focus strictly on making the most efficient possible machines and only the most efficient possible machines, well, you're going to be disappointed. And I'm sorry to say it, but I'm not going to worry about your level of disappointment because I'm doing the things that I find fun. I'm going to keep doing the things that I find fun. Oh, that's what happened. Need a chest. So, I guess what I'm trying to say here is if you're not finding the same kind of things fun that I do, telling me how bad wrong I am for enjoying them is not going to get me to stop doing them. I'm going to keep doing what I find fun. End of the day, that's just how it is. Alright. So that's all of the channel news. That's all of the, like, where I've been. I can't go into more details about what personal things came up that caused me so many issues, because they're not my details to give. So you're just going to have to accept that, sorry, I missed some time. I'm sorry about that. And that just is what it is. All right, moving on. Let's talk about where I'm at with my mental health situation, because you people are interested in that, and my Patreon was originally started because you guys asked to help fund that. My situation is better. I just got myself some of that lemon balm and passion flower extract that I was talking about. I've only been trying that out for a couple of days, but it's working pretty good for me so far. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot more positive about everything. I feel a lot less pressure and stress. It's actually kind of what helped spawn some of this video. I just knew that it was time to talk about these things because I feel better. And that's a good place to be. I'm pretty happy with feeling better. Better is better than bad, I guess. Anyway, being silly. As for the hunt for the therapist, that continues. It's an issue, an ugly issue that is not really solving itself. I have contacted a few more practices in the area. I have a first appointment at the end of August, because these things take time, I guess. And it's going to be an expensive one, but I now have the money for it, thanks to you viewers, and supporting me both here by watching, liking, commenting, and elsewhere. By donating to Patreon, or putting tips into my stream tips jar, or any other place that you guys have chosen to help support me. And there have been a couple of ways. Watching my Twitch streams and just, all of the kind comments that I get, all of the supportive comments that I get mean so much to me. I mean, I feel like I spent a good part of the initial video complaining about the negative comments that I was getting, but I wasn't really complaining about the comments so much as I was just trying to advise the people giving them that what they want and what they're going to get are two very different things from everything that they seem to be telling me. Honestly, I love my community. I love the audience that I have found. I love the community that you guys, you viewers, have helped to create here. And it's really you guys that make this happen and make this all possible. And it's amazing to me that it does happen and that this is possible and that so many of you do care. Amazing and uncommon, and I don't 100% understand it, but the point is it's amazing. So, mental health-wise, I'm doing well. Things are good. I feel like I've been in a very positive place lately. I feel like I have had good sleep, which is such an important thing when you have anxiety issues, and so hard to get sometimes. You'd be amazed how much better you feel after a good night's sleep when you're used to not getting good sleep, and how hard it can be to get that sleep sometimes. And not just like duration, but quality of sleep is very important. I've reduced a lot of the stressors in my life. I have not found a good self-help book like I said I was going to try to do, because in all of my research, basically all of the self-help books for my conditions, most of the reviews that came from psychiatrists and therapists and people with the condition were all talking about how useless and worthless these books were, and you should really you need to go into talk therapy. And the people that did like the condition were like the partners of, did like the, nobody likes the condition, but the people that liked the books were the partners of, and the spouses of, and the friends of people with this condition. The people that basically have to live with it but don't have it. They all seem to find the books that I was reading, that I was looking at, very helpful. The reviews from people without the condition but affected by it were very, very positive. So I've recommended a few of those to Apollo Cat and to some friends of mine if they ever feel that they need some help just handling me, because I can be a bit of a handful for the people in my personal life. And I hope that they will be positive for those people. Okay, what am I doing here? Doing this. Other than that, though, there's not been a lot of movement on the mental health front because it's just a matter of getting those appointments made and waiting for all of the things you have to wait for in our system. Which is sad. It's less than fun, but that also just is the situation it is. And there's no point in bemoaning the situation that it is. There's no utility to that, you know? I can spend all day and all night being upset at my situation and being unhappy with my situation, but it's not going to change the situation any. The situation will remain what it is. Like that whole "it is what it is" line that you've, I'm certain, heard before is fairly apt and accurate for this this condition. Things are what they are, and no amount of wanting them to be different is going to change them, at least not just wanting them to be different. You have to work to make them different as well. But yeah, very positive, very happy. It's been a great summer so far, and it's going to continue to be a great summer. And thank you all for being a part of that. All right, that's been my vlog for the week. Rambly and all over the place a bit, but oh, blast. I would do that. So thanks for joining me, folks. Talk to you again about this next Friday.